To most people, bridges aren't more than just common, boring structures. What if I were to tell you that there are some bridges out there that are actually sort of, well, terrifying? That's right. There's plenty of bridges in the world, but which bridge is the absolute scariest and most dangerous? We'll let you decide. Today, we're looking at the scariest bridges around the world. Number 10. Titleist Cliff Walk. In order to cross the Titleist Cliff Walk, you will need to climb Mount Titleist, where you will find the bridge waiting for you at the summit. You will then walk through the glacier cave via an underground tunnel to reach it. The Titleist Cliff Walk is around 3,000 meters, 10,000 feet above sea level, and 100 meters, 330 feet long, but only 1 meter, 3.3 feet, wide. It stretches from one rock face to another in the Swiss Alps. The bridge crosses a roughly 500-meter, 1,600 feet deep chasm. Walking in single file, it is said to be 150 steps to the other side over the chasm. Once you get to the other side, you can then take the Ice Flyer chairlift to the top of the other side of the glacier. We can only wonder why no one thought to just climb up the other side in the first place. Number 9. 7 Mile Bridge. Most bridges gain their infamy of inducing terror because of their dizzying heights. However, the 7 Mile Bridge in Florida is but only 65 feet above the water at its highest point. But don't be fooled, this bridge is still very scary. The 7 Mile Bridge plunges right into the ocean, connecting some of the Florida Keys with one another. However, once you are on the bridge, all you can see for miles around is bridge and water. This remoteness, length, and feeling of vulnerability is what makes this bridge so frightening, especially when you consider the fact that if you get in an accident or your car breaks down, you are ultimately stuck until help arrives. As if that wasn't bad enough, once on the bridge, you are also at the whim of Mother Nature, as storms are frequent and can roll in without warning, leaving those already on the bridge with no other option than to keep pressing forward. Number 8. Mount Huashan Plank Bridge. The plank bridge located at China's famous Mount Hua is less of a bridge and more of a makeshift death trap. Made only of a few planks of wood attached to the side of the towering mountain, this absurd little crossing is absolutely made only for people who are certifiably insane, and we've got proof. In 2014, a daredevil hiker was making his way across the creaking boards 7,000 feet above the ground and began showing off with his selfie stick. Luckily for us, he videotaped the entire encounter, so nobody else ever has to try this. Even without the makeshift plank bridge, Mount Hua is considered the most dangerous hike in the world, with most people never even making it close to the breathtaking heights of the 7,000-foot-high wooden boards, either turning back or falling victim to the dangers of the mountain. I think I'll be alright with just the view from the bottom. Number 7. Iya Kazurabashi. One of the most unusual-looking bridges is found Iya Kazurabashi, in Japan's Iya Valley among mountains and hot springs. The Vine Bridge is 45 meters, 148 feet long, and only 14 meters, 46 feet, above the Ayagawa River. But what it lacks in scariness, it makes up for in weirdness. It is constructed from a plant called hardy kiwi, which, though relatively strong, is not really suitable for bridge building because it is not durable and is prone to rotting. Not a good quality in a bridge. However, the hardy kiwi was used, it is said, deliberately, so that the bridge could be cut down quickly in case of invaders, thus preventing the invading army from crossing the gorge. The bridge is rebuilt every 3 years, and the vines are lashed to tall cedars at either side of the gorge. In these days of health and safety, the vines also hide steel ropes inside them, just in case. However, the wide gaps between the steps of the bridge giving a vertical view of the river below, and the wild swinging as you pass along it, are still enough to frighten the life out of most visitors. Number 6. Ashima Ohashi Bridge. Located in western Japan, the Ashima Ohashi Bridge looks more like a roller coaster than a road. It links the city of Matsu in Shimane Prefecture to Sakai Minato in Tottori Prefecture, and is basically a highway to outer space, a shortcut to vomiting and nausea, making driving over this thing a seriously thrilling car ride. It's one of the most spectacular bridges in the world. The bridge is a 2-lane concrete road. It rises so sharply, it gives the bravest drivers the fear, featuring the ridiculously steep slope that allows ships to pass underneath it. The concrete road spans a mile and sends drivers soaring into the sky at the very sharp gradient of 6.1% across Lake Nakamori. The bridge is 1.44 kilometers long, with a width of 11.3 meters. It is the largest rigid frame bridge in Japan. If you look straight onto the bridge, the ridiculously steep incline makes it look more like a roller coaster than a road for cars to drive on. It stretches about a mile long with a height of about 144 feet and a 5.1% and 6.1% grade on each end. The bridge has an insanely steep and terrifying slope that's tall enough to let ships pass underneath it with ease. It is a stretch of road that has freaked out even the most confident drivers, as it looks like an insane roller coaster. Number 5. Carrick Reed. In the British county of Antrim, one of the most popular tourist attractions is the Carrick Reed Bridge, connecting Ireland to the nearby Isle of Carrick. The predecessor of this island-hopping bridge was originally built not by trained engineers, but rather by fishermen hungry for opportunity, and well, for fish, I'm assuming. The first bridge to the island was nothing more than a wobbly rope bridge. However, thrill-seekers made it a point to take voyages to see this rickety old bridge and crossing. It became a sort of test of courage, not that it hadn't always been. The bridge ended up topping the list of Northern Ireland's most extreme attractions. Although reinforcements and wooden beams were added, the bridge is still highly unstable and easily movable by shifting your weight around. Of course, adrenaline seekers only see this as a benefit, and every year, 250,000 people pay the £5 entry fee to test their look at crossing the terrifying structure, and then have to walk back across it to go home. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't pay money to cross this bridge once, let alone twice. Number 4. Hong Yagu Bridge. Sometimes it seems that bridge designers are twisted, sadistic people. Take the designers of Hebei's Hong Yagu Bridge, which opened at the end of 2017. They have constructed a bridge that spans 488 meters, 1,601 feet, over a vertical drop of 220 meters, 722 feet, which is nerve-wracking enough for most people. But the designers decided to add a glass floor so that users could have a great view of the valley below them and trick their mind into believing that there is nothing holding them up. And as if that isn't enough, they decided to give the bridge added sway. The glass panels are 4 centimeters, 1.6 inch thick, which don't seem like a lot when it sits between you and certain death. The bridge is capable of accommodating 2,000 people at a time, but only 600 are allowed to walk on it just in case. Visitors have to wear shoe gloves to protect the glass from scratching or breaking. This is apparently a thing with glass bridges. Who would have known? The Bridge Authority has stationed staff members at points along a bridge to assist those who feel faint. Still, it could be worse. The creators of the glass suspension bridge have designed it with added sound effects. As you take each step along the bridge, it sounds as if the glass is cracking beneath your feet. Number 3. I Petrie Bridge. High among the stone mountaintops of Ukraine, the I Petrie Bridge is both awe-inspiring and terrifying at the same time. The canyon-spanning footbridge connects the peaks of 2 Crimean mountains. This means climbers can get 2 separate views of some incredible sunsets and landscapes all in one day, but at a pretty steep price. Because of the altitude, the suspension bridge is subjected to nearly constant swinging caused by the powerful winds, which are actually made stronger by the funnel-like shape of the surrounding mountains. This means anyone brave enough to try to conquer this bridge after having climbed all the way up a mountain is definitely going to feel the I Petrie Bridge rocking back and forth unpredictably. Hanging 4,200 feet in the sky, clouds often form below the mountaintops this bridge connects, as well as pretty thick fog. Luckily, visitors are attached by safety harnesses to the edge of the bridge, but that won't make a single misstep any less terrifying. Number 2. Vidin Bridge. Russia seems to have quite the thing for dangerous situations, and the Vidin Bridge seems like the perfect place for some insane viral clips to be made. This rickety old bridge crosses the Siberian Vidin Lake, a frigid state that spends most of the year as an unstable half-frozen death trap. Believe it or not, the bridge was originally a railway bridge, but I don't really see it supporting a train these days. Shockingly enough, it's able to support RVs somehow, with its aged metal structure and rotting wood plank base, but not with much ease. With a length of 1,870 feet, it's hard to imagine that not a single plank on the bridge has given out over the years. Crossing the bridge in a car successfully has become a serious badge of honor, and so far, only around 34 people can claim to have made the crossing and lived to tell the tale. No sign of how many people didn't make it though. Number 1. China Gap Bridge. China seems to have quite a thing for extreme bridges, being home to the largest one on the planet after all. However, the Gap Bridge in China is nowhere near as long as its record-setting cousin, but nonetheless manages to stand out in its own crazy way. This insane tourist attraction is set up to test the nerves of anyone who claims to brave enough to walk it. Suspended over 440 feet above a steamy rainforest abyss in the mountains, the bridge is made up of a series of wooden planks separated, none of which touch each other. One wrong move, and your body goes hurtling down towards certain doom.
我快乐，非常的牛逼！我兄弟！
And while these wild adventurers' lives and bodies are protected by the bridge's insurance and attached to a safety line, their shoes and belongings very much aren't. Meaning, if you drop something, you won't be getting it replaced. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. Do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch up on my next video.